This is our host, and this is our crime. On September 10, 2025, just after 6 p.m., two home buyers scheduled to view a vacant house in Dayton, Ohio, arrived at the property located in the 300 block of West 4th Street. The couple toured the home on their own via a self-guided showing and at ease when they noticed a foul odor coming from one of the rooms. When they went to investigate where the smell was coming from, they found something horrific inside. There was a badly decomposed human body sitting in the corner. The remains were so badly decomposed that at first police were unable to determine whether the deceased was male or female, black or white, or even how they died. The only thing that could be determined at the scene was that whoever had been in the home for some time had been dead for quite some time. Dayton police officers responded to the call and were dispatched to the house, where they taped off the scene and began investigating. Officers searched the rest of the home but didn't find any signs of foul play. Nothing appeared to be ransacked, and there were no obvious signs of a struggle. There were also no signs of forced entry anywhere around the home. As word spread about the discovery made inside the home, many in the community began speculating what might have happened here. Could the bones have belonged to a former resident? Had somebody recently moved in and passed away? Or did the person who ended up dead here pass away elsewhere and then their body was brought to this location? These are all questions that investigators will work to answer as they continue their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the discovery of these remains. If you ask me, I'd like to know what brings you to this video. Did you hear about this case in the news? Have you seen something similar happen in your area? Or maybe you're just curious about what might have happened inside the house. Whatever the reason, please let me know in the comments below. I always enjoy reading your thoughts. In the meantime, we still have a lot to cover, including the condition of the home, the efforts being made to identify the victim, and the progress of the investigation into the circumstances surrounding their death. So let's get back to it. When officers arrived at the house, they found it in good condition. Other than the human remains in the living room, it appeared as though the home had been well maintained and was ready for new owners. It's unclear why the person or persons responsible for the renovations allowed the home to sit vacant for such an extended period of time. Typically, vacant homes are targeted by squatters, people who illegally enter vacant homes with the intent of residing there temporarily. Squatters usually don't stay in a place for long enough to leave behind human remains. However, police haven't ruled out the possibility that this is a case of a squatter dying inside the home. Unfortunately, investigators will likely never know what brought the victim to this place. The victim's identity is currently unknown, and the Montgomery County Coroner's Office is offering a reward of up to $1,000 for information leading to the identification of the deceased. Anyone with information should contact the coroner's office at 937-225-4455. The Dayton Police Department's homicide unit is leading the investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death because a body was found, but there were no obvious signs of foul play. If the victim was murdered elsewhere and their body was dumped in the house, it would fall under the jurisdiction of the homicide unit. At this point, police are unsure if the death was caused by homicide, suicide, accident, or natural causes. All of these possibilities are still on the table, and investigators will follow every lead until they determine what happened here. At this stage of the investigation, detectives are trying to learn more about the victim, how they died, and how their body ended up in the house. In an effort to identify the victim, the Dayton Police Department released a composite sketch based on an age progression of the victim. This technique allows investigators to estimate what the victim may have looked like at different ages. The image was created using a combination of forensic facial reconstruction, age progression, and artistic skill. While not a perfect likeness, it provides a general idea of what the individual may have looked like. Anyone with information in this case is asked to contact Detective A. Edwards at 937-333-2677 or Sergeant R. Schmitzer at 937-333-2678. You can also contact Miami Valley Crime Stoppers at 937-222-STOP-7867. You can also submit a tip online at wmiamivallacrecept.com. The news of this grim discovery spread quickly through social media, shocking and disturbing many. People expressed their disbelief and condolences for the victim on various platforms. Some questioned how such a thing could happen in broad daylight, while others wondered about the state of the victim's family and friends. As the investigation continues, hopefully answers will be found for those questions and more. Now, for my own thoughts on this case, I'm gonna level with you. I'm kind of tired of hearing about vacant houses being used for nefarious activities. If you think about it, a vacant house doesn't really do anything for a person. It is not like they can cook food in there or sleep in there or really do much of anything in there unless they want to party and do drugs. But most criminals aren't going to hang out in an empty house. A lot of them don't want to be alone. But either way, when it comes to criminal activity, vacant houses are essentially useless. Yet, they keep showing up in these types of cases, and I'm tired of it. In this particular case, we have yet another example of a vacant house being used as a place to store a dead body. And I have to wonder why the owner of this house didn't notice the smell. I mean, if this house has been vacant for months, if not years, why didn't somebody check in on it sooner? I get that people get busy and sometimes things slip through the cracks, but come on, this isn't just a regular occurrence. It's not like you're supposed to forget about a house that you own. Houses require maintenance, especially if you plan on selling them, and I'm kind of tired of hearing about vacant houses being used for nefarious activities. That's all I got for you today. Please subscribe before you go, and remember, don't be a victim. Be safe.